Hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel. We got game number 2 of a doubleheader on August 13th, 1961, between the New York Yankees and Washington Senators. Let's take a look at the starting lineup here for the Yankees in game number 2. They made a few changes from game number 1. Leading off, playing second base is Bobby Richardson. Batting second, playing shortstop's Tony Kubek. Batting third, playing right field's Roger Maris. Batting fourth and playing center field's Mickey Mantle. And here's the two changes they made in the lineup. Batting fifth and playing first base is Elston Howard. Batting sixth and doing the catching is Johnny Blanchard. And here's the third change they made. Batting seventh and playing left field is Hector Lopez. And batting eighth, playing third base is Clint Boyer. And on the mound, doing the pitching is Jim Coates. And the Washington Senators starting lineup for game number 2. They stuck with the exact same lineup, folks, as they did in game 1. Leading off, playing left field is Chuck Hinton. Batting second, playing third base is Danny O'Connell. Batting third, playing first base is Bud Zipfield. Batting fourth, doing the catching is Gene Green. Batting fifth, playing center field is Willie Tasby. Batting sixth, playing right field is Jim King. Batting seventh is the shortstop Bob Johnson. Batting eighth, playing second base is Chuck Coder. And on the mound, doing the pitching, batting ninth is Marty KUTYNA. And let's get this game started, folks, here at Griffith Stadium. Game number 2 of this doubleheader. Can the Yankees do the sweep, or will the Senators bounce back? Excuse me, and split this doubleheader. And Marty has a 3.91 ERA. He's 2-5 on the year. He has started 4 games and he's got 8 saves, folks, and no complete games. So here's the first pitch to Bobby Richardson, batting .261. And if you've been watching, you know he is smoking hot. He's got 2 home runs and 43 RBIs. And here's the pitch to Bobby. And that's going to be a deep fly ball in the right field, but King's got room out there. He gets under it. He makes the catch for out number 1 in this ball game. That'll bring up Tony Kubek now. And Tony's batting .280 on the year with 6 home runs and 44 RBIs. And he squares this one up against Marty, folks. And he drives that ball into the gap in right field off the wall. Marty's rounding first, headed to second, and he's in there safely. So Tony Kubek gets a double here and gets in scoring position for the M&M boys. Roger Maris, batting .267, has been smoking hot also. 48 home runs, 95 RBIs. Here's the pitch to Roger. And he gets a hold of this one, folks. Drives that ball in the center field, and that's going to score Tony. And just like that, the Yankees take a 1-0 lead. And that brings up the other M&M boy. That brings up Mick. Mick's trying to get that batting average over 300, folks. Batting .297, 35 home runs, 107 RBIs on the year. Here's the pitch to Mick. And that's going to be a fly ball in the center field. Tasby's got it for out number 2. And instead of the Moose behind him today, he's got Elston Howard. He's batting .328 with 11 home runs and 48 RBIs. Let's see if Howard can pick up Roger from first and drive him in. And that's going to be a pass ball, I believe. No, a wild pitch. Wild pitch gets Roger down the second in scoring position. The 1-0 pitch to Howard. See now, base hit easily scores Maris. Here's the pitch. And that's more than a base hit, folks. That ball is hit in the right field. That bounces around out there, goes out to the triangle, heading that way. And believe it or not, Howard with his speed is making a turn for second. From second, heading to third, and he's in there safely with a triple. And it's a 2-0 game, folks. with a runner on third now for Mr. Johnny Blanchard, who's not having a great season at the bat, batting .223. His power's not too bad, 14 home runs, 31 RBIs. Let's see if Johnny can get started here and drive in Howard from third. And no, he pops out straight up the chute. I'm sorry, no, that's not. That's popped up the short. And Johnson calls for it out in left field and barely in the grass, makes the catch. But the Yankees scored two. We go to the bottom of the first. It's Yankees 2 and Senators due up with Hinton, O'Connell, and Zipfield. Let's see what Jim Coates can do with a 2-run lead already, folks. Chuck's batting 191 on the year with 4 home runs and 18 RBIs. Here's the pitch to Hinton. And he squares this up against Jim. And that ball is driven into left field. Lopez gets over, gets to it quickly, holds Chuck to a single. And that brings up Danny O'Connell. Danny's batting .288 on the year, 1 home run, 26 RBIs. And on the first pitch, it's called strike one. Chuck Hinton's off to the races, folks. He's headed for second. Johnny Blanchard with the throw down the second. And Chuck slides in there safe under the tag, and that's a stolen base for Chuck Hinton. So now runner in scoring position with nobody out for Danny O'Connell. And that's going to be a big swing and a miss, I believe. Nope, that's just going to be a high pop-up down the second. Bobby Richardson's got it for out number 1. And that brings up Bud Zipfield. Bud's only batting $180 on the season, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs. Here's the pitch to Bud. And that's going to be a base on balls. Don't want to walk a 180 hitter, folks. Well, it does set up the double play. We got first and second now. 1 out. See if Coates can get a ground ball here with Gene Green. He doesn't have much speed, and neither does Zipfield at first. Green's hitting .257 on the year. Like I say, Yankees looking for a ground ball here, and that's what they get. Just what they wanted. That's a ground ball down the short. Can they turn to Quebec up with it over to Bobby Richardson? He fires it over to Howard, and that'll do it, folks. That's a 6-4-3 inning double play. Just broke the hearts of the Senators fans here today. So we go to the top of the second. We got the bottom part of the order due up for the Yanks. Lopez, Boyer, and Coates. Hector's batting .221 on the year. No home runs, 9 RBIs in limited play. Here's the pitch to Hector. And that's going to be a ground ball down the Johnson at short. That'll be out number 1 here in the second. That brings up Clint Boyer now. Clint's hitting .244 on the year with 10 home runs, 45 RBIs. Here's the pitch to Clint. And he hits that ball in the center field. Tasby comes in, can't get to it, pulls up, takes it on the bounce, and Boyer standing down at first with a single, folks. Brings up Jim Coates. Everybody's expecting Coates to bunt. He's 0 for 17 this year, folks. Here's the pitch to Coates. He squares the bunt. He lays down a nice one, folks. That ball is bunted down the third. O'Connell's only play is going to be the first. He fires over to Chuck covering, and that'll be out number 2. But Boyer's down at second in scoring position for one of the hottest hitters in the game right now, Bobby Richardson. Bobby flew out the right his first time up. See if he can drive in Boyer and make this a 3-0 ball game, folks. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be ball 4. They don't want nothing to do with the hot hitting Richardson. They rather face the lefty Tony Quebec. So it's first and second. It's up to Tony now. He doubled his first time up and scored. See if he can drive in Boyer, make it a 3-0 game. Heck, a decent base hit might even score Bobby Richardson from first. And that's not going to happen, folks. That's going to be hit back to the mound. And Marty's up with it. He fires over the zip field at first, and that'll end the inning. Yankees leave 2. We go to the bottom of the second with a 2-0 New York lead. We got Tasby, King, and Johnson due up here. Willie's hitting 223 with 10 home runs and 43 RBIs. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. That'll be Coates' first strikeout of the ball game, folks. 1 down. That brings up Mr. Jim King, batting 264 with 10 home runs himself and 33 RBIs. And that's going to be a ball 4, and that's going to be the first walk of the second walk of the game for Coates. So Jim's heading down the first for Bob Johnson. Johnson's hitting 237 on the year, 3 home runs, 9 RBIs. And that is going to be a ground ball down the third. Boyer's up with it. Only play is going to be the fire over the first. And they get Johnson, but King ends up down at second with 2 outs for Chuck Carter. Excuse me. Hitting 228 on the year. 1 home run, 13 RBIs. Here's the pitch to Chuck. And that's going to be a wild pitch. That puts King down at third. 1 more of them. And the Senator's going to cut this lead in half. So here's the 1-0 pitch to Chuck. And that's going to be hit down the third. Boyer fires across the diamond to Howard for out number 3. And this is still a 2-0 game as we go to the top of the third. We got the M&M boys due up, Maris and Mantle, followed by Howard. Rogers singled his first time up with an RBI, and then he came around the score. He's got his batting average up to 269, folks. Like I say, he's smoking hot. Can he keep it up here? And he sure does, because that ball is high, that ball is far, that ball is going. Can you say number 49 on the year, folks? That is home run number 49, RBI 97. It's a 3-0 game. Maris. 3 home runs in this doubleheader, folks, to the previous game. He is smoking hot. Brings up Mick now. Nobody out, nobody on. He flew out the center's first time up. And that's going to be a pop up in the infield. Mick just got under it. O'Connell's out there in the grass. Makes the catch for out number 1. Brings up Elston Howard now, who tripled his first time up. We got an RBI out of it. Let's see what he does this time, folks. And that's going to be a base hit in the left field. Elston Howard, hitting machine. He's on the board and here with 1 out for Mr. Johnny Blanchard. Like I say, we all been waiting for Johnny to get hot here, folks. We'll see if the day's the day. Here's the pitch to Johnny. And not this plate appearance. That's a fly ball in the center field. Willie Tasby camps under it for out number 2. Here comes Mr. Lopez. Lopez grounded out the third his first time up. And he says he's going to try it again. But Johnson's up to the task. He tosses that ball over to Chuck covering second. And that'll be the final out. But the Yankees score 1 on Roger Maris's 49th home run of the year, folks, and it's a 3-0 game. We got Marty Kuhn up, followed by Hinton, and then O'Connell. Marty's batting 333 on the year with a home run and 2 RBIs, so you got to be careful with him, folks. Here's the pitch to Marty, and that's going to be a ground ball down. I'm sorry, that's a fly ball in the center field, and Mick misplays that, folks. That's an E8, and Marty's aboard here. Mick's out there shaking his head. Can't believe he misjudged that one off the glove. Recovers, holds him to a single. But there's a runner on now with nobody out. Chuck Hinton's up. He singled and stole a base his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. And Boyer's up with it. He fires across the diamond. But Marty's going to end up down the second now with one out for Danny O'Connell. And Danny, he popped up to second his first time up. Here's the pitch to Danny boy. And that's going to be a fly ball in the center field. Mick doesn't mess this one up, folks. He catches it. And Marty, he's not going nowhere. So now there's 2 outs with a runner down at second for Bud Zipfield, who walked his first time up. See if Coach can get out of this inning with that error not costing him. And yes, he does, because that's going to be hit on the ground down the first. Howard's up with it. He'll take it himself, step on the bag, and the Senators leave Marty down at second. We go to the top of the fourth. We got Boyer, Coates, and Richardson due up here. Boyer got a single his first time up. Here's the pitch to Clint. And he gets a hold of this one, folks. And he drives that ball into the gap in right field. Hits off the top of the wall. Almost had a homer, man. And he's down at second with nobody out. Coates is going to try to bunt him down the third, folks. Here's the pitch to Coates. He laid down a nice bunt his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. Nice job. O'Connell's up with it again. His only play is going to be over to first with Chuck Coulter over there. So that's going to put Boyer down at third with 1 out for Bobby Richardson. And Bobby's 0 for 1. He walked his last time up. Here's the pitch to Bobby. And that's going to be a ground ball back to the mound. And the runner's going to have to hold as Marty fires over the first. And that'll be out number 2. Still a runner down at third. Let's see if Tony Kubek can get him in here, folks. Tony's 1 for 2 with... Oh, he scored. I didn't want him to score. Let's go back here. Go back. Not that. Alrighty. That was a ground ball back to the mound. And we want him to hold here. So Kubek has a chance to drive him in, like I said, folks. Now, why is he scoring? I want him to hold. It's a ground ball back to the mound. Try this one more time here. Ground ball back to the mound. 1-3. Runner on third. And there we go. Now Kubek's up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. Well, actually, that's going to be, ground ball down the second. Chuck's up with it, fires over the first, and Boyer's double goes nowhere, folks. We go to the bottom of the fourth. It's New York Yankees 3, Washington Senators nothing. We got Green, Tasby, and King due up here against Coates. Green is 0 for 1, rounded into a double play. And he drives that ball down the first baseline, folks. That ball lands in fair territory, rolls over in foul territory, and Green goes down the second with an easy double. And that'll bring up Will Tasby now with a runner in scoring position. Nobody out. Tasby struck out his first time up. And he's going to walk this time. And all of a sudden, Coach has got himself in a little bit of a mess here in the fourth. First and second, and nobody out. You got King up. Can they get a ground ball here in turn two, folks? King walked his first time up, and that's going to be hit down the third. And Boyer's up with it. He fires over to Bobby Richardson. He's going to fire over to Howard. Going around the horn trying to get a double play, and they do, folks. That's a 5-4-3 around the horn double play. Greens ends up down at third, but there's 2 outs now. Can Coach get out of this with nobody scoring? That brings up Bob Johnson, who grounded out the third his first time up. And that's exactly what he does this time. So Boyer makes every out here today. Well, at least starts every out in this inning. And Senators leave Green down at third, folks. We go to the top of the fifth. Maris, Mantle, and Howard do up. Rogers 2 for 2 today with a home run, 2 RBIs, and he scored twice. Here's the pitch to Roger. And that's going to be hit back to the mound. Marty's up with it. He fires over the first for out number 1. That brings up the mighty Mick. And Mick is 0 for 2, flown out and popped up. And he's going to ground that ball down the third. O'Connell's up with it, fires across, just gets Mick for out number 2. And here's Elston Howard's 2 for 2 today with a triple and a single. Let's see if he can get aboard here again, folks. And no, that ball is hit down to back to the pitcher, but he is getting aboard. Marty throws that ball in the dirt, folks. And Howard's aboard on an E1. That'll bring up Johnny Blanchard. Can he make him pay for that extra out? Blanchard's 0 for 2. He's popped up and flown out. Here's the pitch to Johnny. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. And that'll end the inning, folks. And the Yankees leave Howard down at first. But still got a 3-0 lead here in the fifth. Coder, Marty, and Hinton do up here. Here's the pitch to Chuck. He's 0 for 1 today. And not anymore, folks. That's going to be a base hit in the left field, just out of the reach of Quebec. So Chuck gets aboard here. Let's see what the Senators are going to do. Are they going to try to sacrifice him over? I think they're going to let Marty hit away, folks. He's hitting 308 on the year. Here's the pitch to Marty. And that's going to be a fly ball in the right field. Rogers got it with no problem for out number 1. Brings up Chuck Hinton now. Chuck is a 1 for 2 today with a stolen base, and he grounded out the third his other time up. And that's going to be a fly ball in the left field. Lopez is out there today. He'll make the catch in shallow left for out number 2. And that brings up Danny O'Connell now. 0 for 2, popped up the second and flew out the Mick. And that's going to be another fly ball out the Mick. And Mick takes care of it. And the Senators again leaves a runner on it and base, folks. When we go to the top of the 6th, it's still 3-0 New York. We got the bottom part of the order due up here. Lopez, Boyer, and Coates. Hector's 0 for 2. Let's see if he can get a base hit here and start this inning off right. And he pops that ball up in the infield. And O'Connell says he's got it in fair territory for out number 1. Brings up Mr. Boyer now. He's having a good game. He's 2 for 2 with a double and a single. Here's the pitch to Clint. And that's going to be a fly ball in the right field. And King says he's got that one near the line and does for out number 2. Brings up Jim Coates. He's had 2 nice sacrifice bunts today, folks. See what he does this time. Can he get his first base hit of the year? And no, he doesn't, because that's a big swing and a miss, strike three, and that'll end the inning. The Yankees go down in order. We go to the bottom of the sixth. We got Zipfield, Green, and Tasby. Bud's 0 for 1 with a walk. And he's going to be 0 for 2 because that ball's popped up straight up the chute. Howard waits for it to come down. That'll be out number 1. Here comes Mr. Green. Green Gene. He's 1 for 2 with a double his last time up. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Strikeout number 2 for Coates. Quick 2 outs here in the sixth. Will Tasby's up now. He was walked and then he struck out. And that's going to be a pop up down the third, near third base. Boyer says he's got it, and he does. And that'll end the inning, folks. And the Senators go down in order. We go to the top of the seventh, and the top of the lineups due up here. Richardson, Kubek, and Maris. Bobby's 0 for 2 with a walk. Can he get a base hit? See how hit streak he's on here, because he's been smoking hot. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4-game hitting streak, folks. But he's been 3 for 5, 3 for 7, 3 for 5, and a 1 for 4. Like I say, he's smoking hot. See if he can get on base here with a base hit. And no, it's going to be a ground ball down to Danny O'Connell. That'll be out number 1. That brings up Tony Kubek now. He's 1 for 3 with a double and scored. Here's the pitch to Tony. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 1. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Tony. And he drives that 0-1 pitch in the left field, folks, for a base hit. Kubek's aboard again for the M&M boys. And that'll bring up Mr. Roger Maris. And Rogers 2 for 3 with a home run today, folks. Here's the pitch to Roger. And that's going to be hit down the third. Can the Senators turn a double play? No. O'Connell says his own. He plays over the first. He doesn't even try to get Tony. Fires over there. And that'll be out number 2 for the Mick. So you got a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. Mick's 0 for 3. Can he get an RBI here, folks? Needs a 2-out base hit. And nope, that's going to be popped up on the infield. And Bob Johnson calls for it near the mound, makes the catch. And the Yankees leave Kubek standing down at second. We get to the 7th inning stretch. And we got King, Johnson, and Coder due up here in the bottom of the 7th. Jim's 0 for 1 with a walk. And he's not 0 for any more because that's a base hit in the left field to start this 7th inning. So there's Jim King standing down at first. And brings up Bob Johnson. The Yankees have been able to get some nice double plays to get Coates out of problems. And Bob's grounded out the third both times up. Here's the pitch to Bob. And that's going to be a fly ball in the left field. Lopez is under it for out number 1. That brings up Chuck Coder here. And Chuck is 1 for 2. He singled his last time up. King with the lead down there at first. And that's going to be a fly ball in the center field. Mick's got it. And now it'll be 2 outs. They'll have a pitch hitter here for Marty. See who's going to come off the bench here and pitch hit. I think it's going to be Gene Woodland. Gene's going to come out here and pitch hit. Got a bunch of righties due up. I think Gillespie's going to be the next pitcher here for the Senators. So like I say, Gene's coming off the bench. Try to get a hit here and keep this inning alive. Here's Gene. Hey, Bernard. How are you, bud? Yeah, another early game. I wanted to do 2 games at least yesterday, but my daughter called me and Did some things with my daughter yesterday, so didn't get this doubleheader game in yesterday. So I plan on doing maybe 2 or 3 games today. See how things work out. Alrighty, Gene's batting 255 on the year, 6 home runs, 24 RBIs. Glad to hear it, buddy. You getting over the cold? And here's the pitch to Woodland. And that's going to be a pop up on the infield. No, that's a big swing and a miss. So he strikes out Gene to end the inning, folks. Nice job by Jim Coates. And we go to the 8th. And your score is 3-0 New York. Now we got to get a pitcher in here for the Senators. And Johnny's going to come in the game here. Here's Johnny. He'll be facing the bottom part of the order. He'll have, well, not the bottom part. He's got Howard, Blanchard, and Lopez. He's got the 5, 6, 7 hitters up here in the 8th. And Howard's having a heck of a game, folks. 2 for 3 with a triple and an RBI, and he reached on an error his other time up, so he's been on base every time. Oh, I'm glad it's going away, Bernie. Yep. And here's the pitch to Howard. Can he get on base again? He most certainly can, as he goes the other way with that, drives that ball in the right field. King gets over, cuts it off. Howard will stop at first with his speed. And like I say, Howard's been on base all 4 times up, folks. Here's Johnny Blanchard, still struggling, folks. He's got that batting average under 220, believe it or not. Sure, we keep waiting and waiting for Johnny to break out of this. Here we go. Is this the bat? He does it, folks. And yes, it is, because that ball is high. That ball is far. That ball is over that high wall out there in right field. 2-run homer for Johnny Blanchard. And he's not celebrating. That's just a sigh of relief on his face, folks. Nice job by Blanchard. It's now 5-0. Johnny's doesn't seem to be the answer here. Now we got Lopez up. Hector's 0 for 3. Here's the pitch to Hector. And that's going to be a base hit in the left field. And Johnny can't get out of his own way, folks. 3 batters up, 3 batters aboard here, folks. That brings up Clint Boyer. He's having a heck of a game. He's 2 for 3 with a double. With Lopez down at first. Here's the pitch to Clint. And that's going to be a single in the left field. And like I say, Johnny's just throwing up meatballs, and they're just eating them up, man. Now to have Lopez down at second. Jim Coates is up now. He's going to try to lay down his 3rd bunt here, folks. Get these guys over the 2nd and 3rd. See if he can do it. He's laid down 2 nice bunts before. Well, I got the baseball project, and I got the 1969 racing project, Bernie, with Troy Carter. I need to get with him. And then I got some other projects. I got like a John McEnroe tennis project that I haven't done in months. And I got a Glory Days boxing project, the heavyweights. I'm doing a tournament with them, and I haven't done in months. Once I got hooked on this baseball, I haven't done much of anything else. But yeah, that's the 3 things I got going on. And I like to start a 1985 NASCAR season with red, white, and blue is what I like to start. But I'm going to wait until I have the surgery, because those cards are small and all. And with my eyes, I'm hoping that'll be a lot easier once I have the surgery. So here's the pitch to Coates. And that's going to be a foul ball, strike one. And he lays down another nice bunt, folks. That ball is down the third. Again, I think all three bunts have been down the third. And Danny comes up with it. He fires over to first again. And the runners will advance. So we got second and third and only one out here. We're back to the hot hitting Bobby Richardson. Bobby's 0 for 3 though today, but he has walked. Here's his big chance. The Yankees already got a 5-0 lead. Senators will have to bring the infield in. Here's the pitch to Bobby. And that's going to be a fly ball in the center field. Can he get a run in? Yeah, that's going to be a sacrifice fly. Nice job by Bobby. He gets an RBI. And will Boyer tag up at second? Yes, he will. So both runners advance, folks. And we got a 6-0 lead with a runner down at third with 2 outs for Tony Kubek now. So here's Tony having a heck of a game, folks. He's 2 for 4 with a double. See if he can drive in Boyer. And yes, he does. He slaps that ball in the left field. Boyer a score, and all of a sudden, folks, this 3-0 lead has become a 7-0 lead. Now Tony's down at first for Mr. Maris. Roger has been tearing it up, folks. He's 2 for 4 also with a home run, 2 RBIs. Here's the pitch to Roger. And he just gets under this one, folks. Pops that ball up. No, he doesn't. Sorry. Old Johnny's got the W. He walks Roger. Sure. So Roger trots on down the first. That W kill you, Apba, man. Walks, and more walks. So that brings up the Mixter. Mick is 0 for 4. Can he get a base hit here, folks, off of Johnny? And that's going to be another walk. He walks, the bases loaded. And let's see here. Are they going to go to the bullpen? They hate to go to the bullpen. 2 outs in this doubleheader they used, I think. Let's see here. Who did they use in the first game? See who they used in the first game. They only used that in the first game. Let's see here. So they're going to bring in Dave Sisler. Dave's going to come in here with the bases loaded. So Johnny can only get 2 outs here in the 8th. And they're going to go with Sisler to try to get out of this mess with Howard up. And Howard's reached base every time up, folks. He's 3 for 5, reached on an error. Bases juiced. Nowhere to put him. There is some homemade Indy cards out there, Bernard. Me and Troy did an Indy 1979 Indy season. It's pretty cool. But yeah, this Appa and red, white, and blue, they're like neck and neck. I couldn't tell you. Depends on what day you ask me which is my favorite game. And I don't, like I tell people, I don't know how to say it with that red, white, and blue. And I use the word simple, but the game is so simple, but yet so accurate. It just blows my mind away that, again, something that you roll a dice, look at a characteristic to see if a guy can pass somebody, how often the top 5 or 10 or whatever is the top 5 or 10 in the actual race. They might not be exact, but it is damn close. It just blows my mind. The game is awesome. That's all I can say. It's just awesome. Here's Howard now. Like I say, 3 for 4 and reached on an error. His only time made an out, and he's going to get on base again, folks. He singles over second base into center field, and everybody's going to advance 2 bases, folks. That's a 2 RBI single. And just like this game has gotten completely ugly. It's first and third, folks. 2 outs. Mick down at third. Howard down at first. And it's a 9-0 game. And here's Johnny, who homered his last time up in this inning. Let's see if he can go back-to-back home runs in the same inning, folks. No, that is going to be a... And they got Howard stealing second. We're not stealing second with a 9-run lead with Elston Howard. So that's going to be strike one on Blanchard. And sure enough, Johnny is starting to heat up, folks. That's a base hit in the left field. Howard's going to stop at second, and it's a 10-0 ball game, good buddy. Sure. The bullpen of the Senators isn't very good, and it's showing up here today. So first and second, still 2 outs. Lopez singled his last time up in this inning. Can he do her again too, folks? And no, that'll end the inning. That's going to be a high pop up in the infield. Bob Johnson makes the catch and finally ends this mercifully. And it's a 7-run inning, folks, and it's 10-0 New York. And we go to the bottom of the 8th. Top of the order due up here against Coates. Hinton, O'Connell, and Zipfield. Chuck's 1 for 3 with a stolen base on the day. And that's going to be a ground ball down the first. Howard scoops it up, touches the base, and up comes Danny Boy O'Connell. And O'Connell is 0 for 3 today. He's flown out the center twice and popped up the second. And all of a sudden, Jim Coates with a 10-run lead walks Danny. Don't understand that, but that brings up Bub Zipfield. And Bud is over 2 with a walk. And that's going to be popped up behind home plate near the screen. Blanchard makes the catch. That'll be out number 2. And that brings up Gene Green. And Mr. Green here is 1 for 3 with a double. He struck out his last time up. And not this time, folks. He drives that ball in the center field. And Danny O'Connell puts on the Jets with 2 outs, and he ends up down at third. So it's first and third. And the Senators just like to get on the board, not have a shutout here, folks. So that brings up Will Tasby with O'Connell at third, Green at first. And that's going to be a fly ball in the right field. Rogers got room out there, makes the catch. And again, the Senators leave 2 runners on, and we go to the top of the 9th. We got Boyer, Coates, and then back to Bobby Richardson, folks, here in the 9th. Clint Boyer's 3 for 4, folks, with a double and he scored a run. That ball is going to be hit down the second. Easy play for out number 1. And that brings up Jim Coates here today. He has 3 sacrifice bunts and struck out his other time up, folks. And that's going to be a fly ball in the right field. King's got it. Quick 2 outs here in the 9th. Big difference from the 8th inning. That brings up Bobby Richardson. He's 0 for 3. His last chance here, folks, to get a base hit. Here's the pitch to Bobby. And it doesn't happen, folks. That ball's grounded down the third. 1, 2, 3 goes the Yanks. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Senators need a small miracle here. They got King, Johnson, and Coder due up the bottom part of the order. Jim's 1 for 2 with a walk. He did single his last time up, but that's an easy fly ball out to Roger. 1 out. That brings up Rocky Johnson. And the Rock is 0 for 3. He's grounded out the third twice and flew out the left. And that's going to be a base hit in the left. Lopez can't get to this one, folks. So the Senators keeping their slim hopes alive. Johnson down at first for Chucky Boy Coulter. And he is 1 for 3. He singled, grounded out the third, and flew out the Mick. And that's going to be a ground ball back to the mound. And he's going to spin and throw down the I'm sorry, that's going to be a swing and a miss. Strike 3. Hey, Michael. Yeah, just a little late. Yeah, it was a good ball game until the 8th inning. The Yankees just busted it open. And we'll have a pitch hitter here for Sisler. Let's see who's going to pitch hit. I think it's going to be Dale Long's going to come off the bench here and pitch hit. Try to keep this game alive for the Senators. Alrighty, there's Dale. Dale's hitting 245 on the year, folks, with 14 home runs, 43 RBIs. Here's the pitch to Dale. And he gets a hold of this one, folks. Senator's not going down without a fight. He drives that ball into the gap in right field. And guess what, folks? That's going to break up the shutout here. And Johnson's going to score with Long standing down at second. So a moral victory, I guess. I don't think we have moral victories here on this channel, but that's a 10-1 ball game. Runner down at second now with 2 outs for Chuck Hinton. Are you going to give it another try, Bernie? Okay, cool. I'll be watching, man. Here's the pitch to Chuck. He's 1 for 4 with a stolen base. And that's going to be a big swing and a miss. Strike 3, and that ends the game. And the Yankees win 10-1. Just couldn't quite get the shutout. Let's take a look here at the box score. Game number 2. That was the Yankees' 80th win, folks. One more win and they're guaranteed a 500 season. You got the Yankees 10 runs on 15 hits and an error. The Senators 1 run on 7 hits and an error. Quebec and Maris, look at that. 3 for 5 and 2 for 4. Roger with the big home run, 2 RBIs. The Mixter went 0 for 4. Was the Mick the only, no, Mick and Bobby Richardson was the only Yankees without a hit. I think it's a 32-inch monitor I'm using, Bernie. I think. Don't hold me to it. It's 30 something. Yeah. It's either 32 or 36. Yankees were 5 for 8 with runners in scoring position, folks. They still left 9 men on base. Ain't that crazy? Darn. Green was about the only Senator have a decent game there. He was 2 for 4. Chuck Long comes off and gets that RBI double. And the Senators were 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position. Sure. And they grounded into 2 double plays. So left 9 men on base. Coach goes the distance, improves his record to 5-5. 9 innings, 7 hits, 1 run, walked 4, and struck out 5. Yeah, that's why I got the monitor, Bernie. That's exactly why I got the monitor. Was when I got this game, I was really struggling with it, sure. And of course, like I say, I knew my eyes was getting bad. Now I'm going to have that surgery. So yeah, yep. Marty KUTYNA, he drops to 2-6, 7 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs, walked one, struck out one, and gave up the 1 home run. And poor Johnny, he comes in and gets blown up. 2/3 of an inning, 5 hits, 7 runs, walked two, and gave up a home run. Sisler comes in, shuts the door. By that time, it was too late. 1 1/3 innings, gave up 2 hits. And let's do some fast play here in the American League, folks. Oh, you had it done this year too? I'm hoping, Bernie. Like I say, I ain't gonna lie. It scares me. I don't like ice. I don't even like messing with my own eyes. That's why I don't wear contacts. I don't want to be messing with my own eyes. You got your Red Sox, Bernie, heading down to Baltimore to take on the Orioles. Let's see what happens down here in Baltimore. And the Orioles win a close one. The Red Sox 1 run on 8 hits and no errors. Orioles 3 runs on 7 hits and no errors. Jim Gentile 1 for 4 with a 2-run homer, it looks like. Then you got the A's traveling to Chicago to take on the White Sox. Let's see what happens in the Windy City. Question for you, Bernie, with the surgery. What did you do after your first surgery with your whatever eye they did first with your glasses? Because I was told that I may not be able to wear my glasses because my vision's going to be all messed up and might make me dizzy and have problems walking and all, since my one eye, the lens ain't going to be correct. And the A's win a game out there in Chicago, folks. 5 runs on 10 hits and no errors. The White Sox only 2 runs on 7 hits and no errors. Oh, is it? Yeah, they got the Angels traveling to Cleveland to take on the Tribe. See what happens here in Cleveland. And the Indians win. The Angels 4 runs on 9 hits and an error. The Indians 8 runs on 10 hits and an error. Yeah, that's what they told me. I was just wondering that week in between, I got the left eye on the 21st, the right eye on the 28th. And like I say, he told me it's possible if I wear my glasses, I could end up with my left eye being so much better than what it was. It might give me I forget what it's called, some kind of syndrome where when you're wearing your glasses, you get all messed up and get like dizzy and have a problem walking with it. Did you? Yeah. All righty, and here's the last game in the American League. We got the Tigers traveling to Minnesota to take on the Twins. And the Twins beat the Tigers. Tigers 4 runs on 8 hits and no errors. The Twins 5 runs on 8 hits and no errors. Sure, the Twins have gotten the Tigers number, it seems like. We'll check that out here in a minute. Check the standings and then we'll see what the Tigers record is against the Twins. It seems like the Twins beat them quite a bit. The Yankees are now 9 games up on the Orioles. The Tigers are 10.5 games back. The Yankees have won 10 in a row, folks. The Tigers have lost 2 in a row. And in the last 10 games, the Orioles are 6-4. The Tigers are 5-5. Like I say, the Twins, they've at least beaten the Tigers 2 in a row. Now they're 14.5 games back. The White Sox are 15.5 games back, and then it drops. The Angels and the Indians are 27.5 games back. Red Sox are 31. Then it drops another level, and the Senators are 39 games back, and the A's are 40.5 games back, folks. And Elston Howard's now qualified for the batting title, folks. He won't be at the end of the year, but Elston Howard now leading the American League with a 336 batting average. Roger with those 49 home runs, folks, leading the American League and the major leagues. How about Jim Gentile? He's got 42 on the year, folks. Darn. And then you got Norm Cash with 114 RBIs. You got Skowron with 111, Gentile with 108, and Mick with 107. Then it drops down to 97 with Roger. Jim Bunning still leading the American League and the major leagues with a 2.06 ERA. Bill Stafford's up there now with a 2.25. You got Bunning and Whitey leading the league with 18 wins. He probably did, Bernie. He hit like 350 something that year. It's something crazy. He had one hell of a year. We'll look it up here. Luis with 30 saves on the year. Yeah, we'll look up the the Tigers record against the Twins, and then we'll look up Gentile's actual numbers. Rogers leading in the MVP voting, and Whitey, the chairman of the board, is leading in the Cy Young voting. So let's check out Jim Gentile for Bernie here. See what his actual batting average was that year. Like I say, I'm pretty sure he did. Let's see here. Go to the Oreos. And where's Jim at? There he is. No, his batting average is only 305 that year. I thought it was a lot higher than that too, Bernie. So let's see who did lead the league in batting average in 61. Let's take a look here. Go to the American League here. Let's see here. Batting. You know what? We'll do it this way. We'll use Baseball Almanac. Use Baseball Almanac. $61. Let's see here. Batting. Who led in batting average? Well, first you got to get the right year, Dwayne. Not 81, but 61. That'll help if you get that. And it'll help if you get the right year. There we go. And Norm Cash, 361. Yep. Yep. Like I say, Tigers, I can't believe that they're that far back because they got one hell of a team. That's for sure. Let's take a look here at the reports. The Twins have given them problems. That's for darn sure. Take a look here at this win-loss grid for the Tigers against the Twins. Where's Minnesota at? Yeah, they got a losing record against the Twins. They're 6-9 against the Twins. And their biggest problem is the Yankees. They're 2-9 against the Yankees. Heck, they're 5-6 against the Orioles. Yeah, the rest of the league, they're kicking their butts. 10-3 against the Angels, 9-3 against the A's, 10-5 against the Indians, 8-2 against Boston, 9-6 against Chicago. But the Yankees and the Twins and the Orioles, sure, like I say, it's hard to believe they're 10 games back, but there's still a lot of games to play. Still a lot of games to play. Here's a bigger standings here, gives you more information. They're having a problem on the road, the Tigers are. Only 28-26 on the road. Yeah. Look at that, 151 run differential. But yeah. And the Yankees right now are making hay, which they did in real life. I think they won like 12 or 13 games in a row at this time of the year against the A's, the Senators, and I forget who they got next. Let's see who they got next. It's like I say, they just got done playing the A's. They played the Senators, so they're playing the bottom feeders here. Wrong team here. Wrong team. Want the Yankees. I'm not sure, Bernie. I like to do wouldn't mind doing 78 with Guidry. I was thinking about doing 69. Me and Ken talked about 69. I think that'd be a nice year to do. See what happens there. See if the Orioles could win the World Series. So maybe 78 or 69. So they got the White Sox coming in for 3. Yeah. Then they're back on the road against the Indians and Angels again. So like I say, they got the bottom part of the league coming in here, but they are making hay. They are definitely making hay. Let's see here. See how many games they did win in a row in this stretch of the season. Like I say, it was like 12 or 13 games they won in a row. And then they did the same thing at the beginning of September. Yeah, they did the same thing at the beginning of September, won like 12 in a row, and that's when they pulled away from the Tigers in real life. So let's see here. Starting in early part of our August here, they won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games in a row. Yeah. To start August off with. The Senators was actually supposed to beat them in the 12th in one of the doubleheader games. Then they come right back and win 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 10. So yeah, they made some hay here. And there's the stretching early September here. Sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 game winning streak at the beginning of September. And if I remember right, the Tigers lost like 8 out of 13, something like that. Let's see here what the Tigers did in early September. That's when they won the pennant. Tigers really got on a losing streak here. Yeah, look at that. Yeah. They lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I thought it was 8. 8 games in a row the Tigers did in September, and the Yankees won 13 in a row. And that was the difference in the pennant. Yep. Crazy. Because it was a close pennant race until September. You want to see 78? Yeah, like I say, I might do 78, Bernie. Yeah. I'd like to say Gidry. I'd love to see if Gidry can repeat what he did. Yeah. 2004 would be interesting. Yeah, yeah. I wonder why that would be interesting, Bernie. That's pretty funny. I like it. Yep. Yeah. All righty. I'm going to get off here, grab something to eat. I may be back on here this afternoon. Let's see who the is pitching for the Braves against the Cubbies on the 13th of August. You got Anderson going up against Sweet Lou Burdette for the Cubbies and the Braves game. That'll be the next game on the channel here, folks. Check out Bernard Strom's sports replays. He says he's going to come on later this evening, folks, and maybe do some Status Pro. Not Status Pro, sorry, Stratomatic, I believe. Yeah. Give that a try. Again, he said. Alrighty, folks, and Michael was in here. Check out his channel. Michael said he might be doing some games. He's got videos on how he built the stadiums. Michael, he did a heck of a job. Most of the stadiums you see on the channel here, folks, Michael did them for Out of the Park 24. They're awesome stadiums. Alrighty. Well, until next time, you all have a great day and take care.